Hey guys, Rinji here, and there has been Twitter troubles of an anime nature this time around. We're moving on from video games into anime, and then into VTubers again. There's even a VTuber involved in one of today's story. Not a major role, mind you, but still, it's always nice to see that everything once again crosses over with everything else, and drama is universal. And what's better, drama than anime drama, seriously. What's today's problem? Well, today's problem is a new anime adaptation of a shoujo manga called Ojo Tobanken-kun, which is a girl and her guard dog, an age gap manga featuring a yakuza and a high school girl. And you probably guessed what this one is gonna be about. It's gonna be just by judging by the amount of quote retweets you can see in the screenshot in front of you, you can already tell what this is going to be. But you know, I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Let's get right into that. Yakuza, cross high school girl, age gap romance, girl and her guard dog, new anime trailer reveal. Air date September 29th, 2023. Animation Studio Project 9, number 9. Original manga by Tsuharu, Ojo Tobanken-kun. And there's the trailer, which I can't unfortunately show you, otherwise YouTube is gonna bonk me for it. But there's different kinds of bonks that we can watch. So let's get right into that. All of these people and their reactions to it, what do you think they're gonna be? Gonna be very positive, right? They're gonna be welcoming this new shoujo manga adaptation of a very interesting story, a problematic story, but now it's gonna get full acceptance, right? Of course it won't. I'm talking out of my ass. Let's go. So I looked this up, and one, he's 26 and she's 15, just entered high school. He's been raising her as a fatherly and brotherly figure since she was 5. Oof, thought this was okay. Triple skull emoji. Whoever created this deserves to go to prison. Because of course, why not send innocent mangaka to prison because of the problematic fiction that they created? Let's just send everyone to prison that made something problematic beforehand. It doesn't have to be of any kind of sexual nature. It doesn't have to be an age gap thing. Let's send all the people who have drawn gore, have drawn murder, have drawn all kinds of other abuse to prison. Because, you know, they committed crimes against fictional characters. And of course, what they created in fiction is a mirror to how they are in real life. It's all of their morals up in question. And that's how they are. They're just criminals for the fiction they create. Let's move on. Watch as people on the replies trying to defend the anime with whataboutism and misogyny. Typical weebo brain rot moment. I don't know how this is relevant to anything, how hating women is relevant to this particular story, but you go off, Twitter person. Oh, the men are gonna eat this up. You'll know what this kind of men I'm talking about. Yes, the men are gonna eat this up. The shoujo, mind you, demographic is full of male consumers. It's not Japanese. It's not young Japanese women. It's not. It's not that. It's the Western males that are gonna be eating this up. Mind you, I like that these people know content they're consuming, what they're talking about. It's always a joy to see. Yeah, because people who create fiction and clearly labeled this as fiction should just go straight to jail. Sarcasm indicator, in case you didn't know. Yes, actually, though. Yeah, there's this furry that thinks that people should go to prison because of the fiction they create. Mind you, Mr. Furry, Mr. Lolbit, if that happened for this particular type of story that we're talking about here, that's the slippery slope here, and there's no fallacy here, because once this type of fiction goes, oh, your thing is going next. Your furries are on the chopping block when that comes to pass. And I bet all of you would probably love it in China. They put people that create problematic fiction into jail, but not the kind of you're thinking about. You want to explore gay romance in your stories? Sorry, that's no good, and you're going to jail for it. So if you like China that much, you might as well move there. Let's move on. Is it illegal in Japan to make an age-appropriate love story, or another anime that's going to be controversial against the insensitive Western anime fanbase? Let's go, let's go, and it will be fun watching all the thread. Justifying, glorifying a 26 and 15-year-old relationship as a cultural thing when Japanese people in Japan have said that this sort of thing is weird. It's honestly crazy, and that's the VTuber I was talking about. I made it relevant to my account. I'll pat myself on the back for this one. But yeah, glorifying and cultural and weird. Sure, your normal Japanese person will think all kinds of problematic fiction is weird. But again, things like this don't just get an anime adaptation out of nowhere. There has been a demand for that. The manga has apparently sold well enough and was popular enough to warrant an anime adaptation. So, you know, that doesn't really pan out what you're talking about here. They may, honestly, your normal run-of-the-mill Japanese person may think anything is weird inside of fiction. But I think most of them can differentiate between what's real and what's not. And this is a growing problem in the Western part of the world for some reason. I don't know where they keep getting that from, but I do imagine that it's from the death of Tumblr and the floodgates just breaking open and all of these people just spilling out into the ether and just spreading this weird, the actual weird mindset among the general populace. Let's move on. When will they stop normalizing pedophilia? It's already 2023, like stop already. This kind of problematic content has existed not only in the Eastern world, not only in Japan, also in the Western world for decades now. Before I was born, before these people talking about it were even considered. And has normalized jack shit. People can differentiate between what's real and what's not. Believe me. And nothing is being normalized inside of fiction that gets put up into the real world. It just doesn't work like that. All these studies, mind you, over the decades have shown that this has absolutely no bearing on reality. People can just dissociate one thing from the other. It's so simple, and I don't understand how you guys don't get it. And it's already 2023. Let's move on. Wait till people realize that they can choose not to watch this anime instead of complaining like a bitch. Wait till people realize this is wrong to make pedophilic anime/media. Wait till people realize there's a freedom of art in anime. If it bothers people so much, then look below. Pedophilia is art? What? Triple crying emoji. They are anime characters. Their worth is no more than objects, so calling it pedophilia is really dumb. Pedophilia has victims and exploitation of actual children. And this anime depicts exploitation of child. What's not clicking? That is not real and no one's getting hurt. The same way people getting murdered in movies and in other media are not people getting hurt either. But again, touchy subject, the subject of minors. Whoever made this is going to hell. I'm making sure of it. I swear they should start putting people who watch this on a fucking watch list. Would be great sting operation tactic. Put shows like this on the streaming services, then bam, FBI at your doorstep in about an hour. And then FBI leaves disappointed that they wasted the time instead of, you know, busting actual pedophiles. I'm sure the FBI and whatever other services have their own honeypots, and they do know how to capture real pedophiles. I'm quite sure they aren't concerned with fucking cartoons. And again, going back to this, there have been many cases, and way too many cases at this point, over 100 documented cases of people saying shit like this person is saying, being found out to be some kind of predator in the near future. So, Mr. Attack on Dragon, I hope this doesn't happen to you. And I hope you don't have any victims in your closet. Let's move on. You know what they could have been done with this budget? Hired a lawyer to get the mangaka behind bars, because what the fuck? Yeah, you are normal. Let's just jail these people because they created something I don't like in fiction. Insane in the membrane. Literally animated pedophilia. Imagine being a mangaka with a story that you put your sweat and tears into and submit your manga in hopes of getting chosen for an animated adaptation and gets rejected for Yakuza ex-high school girl age gap romance. This is not how anime adaptations work for the most part. I can assure you of that. Mangakas usually get contacted via their publisher because someone has expressed a desire to animate their work. I don't think the industry works in such a way that they put up their manga for serialization in hopes for it to, get animated in like some contest. I don't know. Maybe there are contests like that, but I am quite certain that it doesn't work like that. So again, anime fans, manga fans in the comments, they sure know a lot. Let's move on. This shit should constitute as child grooming since it's targeted towards teen girls. I'm so serious. Little girls are gonna see this on screen, and when their weird uncle comes over, when they're gonna think, yeah, this is normal, we're gonna think it's their romance. You'll have to understand how dangerous something like this is. Source for that kind of, wide-reaching statement? Because I'm quite sure there's a study out there that shows that children as young as 5 can differentiate what's real and what's not. Just based on that, Oh, brother. I wish you people actually backed up what you were saying, because again, there's been decades of this kind of content going on. And in, I guess, fringe cases where, bad parenting was also involved, certain children had no freaking idea what they were getting into, and they didn't have proper guidance, or they were already mentally deficient. Or, they have been groomed with that sort of stuff, because it is possible for an actual pedophile to use any sort of material. It doesn't have to be manga, it doesn't have to be any sort of media. You can groom a minor with candy. And, you aren't going after candy because it's so easy to groom minors with, confectionaries. So, again, some consistency would be nice when it comes to stuff like this. Moving on. Pedophilia in original post. The art style looks like they applied the typical yaoi eyes on a straight couple. This one also gets me pretty good, because you know what, like, the shoujo art aesthetic is like? There's a lot of exaggerated proportions, especially in the facial and the hand deportment. And if you actually seen the original manga for A Girl and Her Guard Dog, it looks pretty typical of what you'd expect from, that kind of demographic aimed manga and its art style. So again, I don't know where they're getting these yaoi eyes and stuff like that. I think they're just using terms they don't understand, because that's how Twitter is. Anime like this pissed me off so much because she is so pretty, but it's a fucking age gap story and she's gonna fall for an ugly square-cheeked pedophile. Japan is so fucking nasty. The way this is probably not even the first pedo anime revealed this year. How is this shit so normalized? Oh, I love a little bit of xenophobia and racism in my Twitter anime discussion too. These people call themselves consumers, and then Japan is so fucking nasty. Oh, brother. We gotta jump the people making these age gap mangas. Yes, call for violence too. That's also fantastic. He's 26 and she's 15. Whoever made this can rot in hell. High school girl age gap romance. I'm puking. Age gap romance. You mean pedophilia? Japan being weirdos again. As usual, the pedo shit. Thank you, locked fat gap up with the Trump mugshot in the profile picture. I feel so bad for the production staff who have to work on this in order to eat. Yes, I'm quite sure they're distressed. They have to work on this morally reprehensible story. Like they can't tell what's real and what's not. I'm quite sure they're suffering through it just because they have to eat every single day. Get real, please. The fact that stuff like this is what gets adapted more often means that there's an actual demand for this skull emoji society. We live in one. Yes, there is a demand for problematic content, believe me. Because you know why? You can explore anything in fiction because it makes it interesting. Do you want people to explore weird things in real life? I don't think so. When you write problematic stuff, because again, this word gets overused a bit too much nowadays, you get to explore anything you desire. You get to ask questions you wouldn't normally be able to ask in any other situation. You get to create scenarios which would be impossible in real life, or, you know, would be quite dangerous to try out. And I don't just mean the sexual stuff. I mean all kinds of fiction, all kinds of things that would normally not be possible in real life. And this type of content, in a lot of things, makes you ask questions, makes you explore yourself deep down. All kinds of things. There's all kinds of stories for all kinds of consumers, and these consumers will take different things out of these stories. And, you know, some are just made for pure enjoyment. Just, you know, look at this stupid stuff. Enjoy it while it lasts. You know, popcorn entertainment. We can call it that. And some others, you know, are more serious than that. But who knows, you know. Whatever it is, it's not real. It doesn't have any specific effect on real life in any wider capacity. So all of that discussion is pretty much pointless. If I see you actively enjoying this anime on the timeline, I'm going reporting you to the police. Not age gap, it's literally pedophilia plus incest. I'm calling the cops on anyone willingly watching this. Girlie has hentai art style while bro has an action manhwa rough sketch art style. This is hilariously bad. Trying emoji jihaha. I don't know what she just said, but what the hell is supposed to be a hentai art style supposed to be? I've watched many hentai anime, many an erotic anime, and I don't know what the hell your meaning here is. All anime and manga have varied styles. Sure, some repeat, but what the hell is a hentai art style? I don't know. Again, these are anime fans speaking with utmost knowledge about the subject matter. Moving on. 26 to 15-year-old age gap who greenlit this anime, says the great teacher on Azuka profile picture. You know, the guy that perps on teenagers. As a teacher, mind you. Oh man. I wish these people have some sort of self-awareness, but they don't. And that's what makes great content for videos like this. The lack of awareness and just the general unhinged nature of it. Moving on. No one cares but the 2,000 plus people that have replied to this. I love comments like this too. No one cares. Like, look at us not caring about this. Look at all of these 2,000 retweets and 2,000 quote retweets of us not caring about it. There's something so dark about making shows specifically about teenage girls falling in love with older men targeted specifically at teenage female audience. There are way too many shoujo series about groomers and abusers framed as romance. And, you know, for some reason, the intended target audience, you know, I imagine for the most part doesn't fall for it and engage in things like this in the real world. Because, I don't know, Japan gives their younger audiences a bigger benefit of the doubt that they're not R-worded and they have the mental capacity to tell what's real and what's not. I can imagine that that would be it. And I hope it stays like that, because otherwise, again, everything is doomed. All media is going to suck. Let's move on. Some people should die. Oh yeah. I love those. I bet there's some low tier gods in that thread too. Didn't find any, but you know, if I looked more carefully, I probably would. Is this even legal in television? Okay, so someone replied that the girl is 15 and the guy is 26. Triple crying emoji. Oh, the author needs to go to prison. Fuck is wrong with the N-words in that country, man? Japan age of consent or whatever surely can't be 18, skull emoji. In most areas there it is, but some of the mangaka don't got morals. Yes, it's a matter of morals, as I was saying. Because the content you create in fiction is one-to-one what your real-life morals are. I hope these people go around the city chasing, I don't know, movie producers that portray murder and shit like that. Because, you know, their morals are clearly fucked up. How can you show people getting murdered? That's so awful and distasteful and everything wrong with the world. I would be visibly shaking my head if my 2D avatar could do that. I might have to do something about that in the future. Let's move on. Killing myself in front of the author's house to change the trajectory of their life. Just hell is this? I mean, I won't stop you, but, you know, considering how well your typing is, you might be having an aneurysm while you are typing this out. I think you're already dying, and I hope you'll be dying quite loads away from the outer, because they don't deserve having some damas die in front of their porch because they don't like the stuff they produced in a fictional book. And lastly, nobody wanted this. I don't think it works like that, considering, you know, the manga was popular enough to get an anime adaptation. And I'm quite sure some Westerners will enjoy this. I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. Doesn't seem like that type of story I would be into. I would enjoy a good share of shoujo manga in the past. I think I liked Ultramaniac, like shoujo manga and shoujo anime. Ultramaniac was one of my favorites back in the day. It was kind of, looking back at it, was kind of bad, but I enjoyed it anyway. Sometimes you have to enjoy the good with the bad. You know, a little bit of poison makes the body stronger in the end. And speaking of ends, that's everything for today. And I'm quite sure there's gonna be more videos like this, because people in the anime community are consistently upset about shit like this. And it's always hilarious to laugh at the argumentations they try to put forward in order to justify being awful to not only the authors of things like this, but, you know, also to other people that do enjoy them. But, you know, for right now, that's everything. I hope to see you on the next one.